You're sitting in a fortified bunker somewhere in Gaza, underground, surrounded by concrete, pipes, and the buzzing hum of fluorescent lights. You're one of the most feared interrogators in Hamas. Mahmoud al-Zahar, the man behind intelligence, torture chambers, and brutal questioning of suspects. Down here, in your tunnel lair, you feel untouchable, invisible, secure. And
if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Your feedback helps shape what we cover next, and you being here keeps the conversation going. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Until you're not. Because above you, in a completely different world, Mossad is watching, listening, planning. And what they're about to do: no gunfire, no airstrike, no boots on the ground. Just water, and a lot of it. This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment move. This was a masterclass in slow-burn strategy and patient precision. Israel's intelligence community, Mossad, Shin Bet, and military engineering teams spent years gathering information. Human intel, phone intercepts, surveillance footage, the works. They had been tracking al-Zahar's movements, his routines, and more importantly, the location and structure of his underground facility. The tunnels were Hamas's pride. A complex network dug beneath Gaza's cities and fields, an entire ecosystem of war below the surface. But what Hamas saw as strength, Israel saw as opportunity. And what they planned to do next would turn the tunnels from a sanctuary into a tomb. It started with tunnel mapping. Years of data collection, satellite imagery, sensor readings, and intelligence debriefings went into building a virtual blueprint of Gaza's subterranean world. And right in the middle of it was al-Zahar's hidden facility, where he was known to carry out interrogations away from the prying eyes of the surface. Now, Israel had a target. But getting to him wasn't going to be through a drone strike or some dramatic breach. Too risky. Too messy. Instead, they turned to something deceptively simple: water. Gaza's municipal water system is a spiderweb of pipes running beneath neighborhoods, linked up to both civilian and government facilities. Mossad's plan: weaponize it. But not with poison or explosives. With pressure. They covertly drilled into Gaza's water infrastructure, disguising the operation as routine maintenance or civilian projects. Under cover of urban noise and daily chaos, they installed shaped charges, carefully engineered breaching devices on key water pipes above the targeted tunnel network. Each one was positioned to deliver maximum water flow directly into al-Zahar's underground space. Not a drop more, not a drop less. Then came the timing. The operation hinged on one critical variable: knowing exactly when al-Zahar would be underground. The intelligence teams had to wait for that narrow window when he would be in the tunnels, conducting an interrogation, with enough time for the plan to unfold before anyone noticed something was wrong. And that moment came in 2012. Signals intelligence confirmed it: al-Zahar was underground, mid-interrogation. Mossad gave the go. Remotely, the shaped charges detonated, and instantly, thousands of gallons of municipal water redirected into the tunnel network, rushing through every corridor, chamber, and room like a wave of destruction. There was no warning. No sirens. Just a sudden, deafening flood. Within minutes, the water engulfed al-Zahar and his personnel. Hamas operatives trapped inside had nowhere to run. No escape hatches. No time to react. The same tunnels they trusted for safety became a watery grave. And just like that, it was over. When Hamas realized what had happened, they were stunned. This wasn't a cave-in or accidental flooding. This was precision targeted, engineered, and perfectly timed. A silent execution without a single Israeli soldier setting foot inside. And for Hamas, the implications were terrifying. Their tunnels were supposed to be the ultimate defense, untraceable, concealed, fortified. But this operation shattered that illusion. It told Hamas that Israel didn't just know about their tunnels, they understood them. They could flood them at will, collapse them, control them from a distance. And if al-Zahar could be eliminated without a trace, so could anyone. Internally, Hamas scrambled. Post-operation investigations confirmed the worst: the water had been redirected intentionally. Drilling sites were identified. Municipal water systems had been compromised. This wasn't an accident, it was a message. Immediately, Hamas started re-evaluating tunnel designs. New drainage systems, reinforced bulkheads, flood-resistant chambers. But the damage was done not just physically, but psychologically. The fear wasn't just of infiltration, it was of invisibility. If Mossad could do this, what else could they do? The operation forced a complete reassessment of underground security protocols. Tunnel construction became slower, more expensive, and less trusted. Every new build had to consider whether water could find its way in again. Strategic depth, the whole idea of being safe below ground, was gone. And it didn't stop there. Other militant groups were watching too. Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, even non-state actors across the region. If Israel could manipulate civilian infrastructure to carry out targeted killings with such surgical precision, traditional defense tactics were obsolete. From a military strategy standpoint, the operation was a clean win. No civilian casualties. No urban destruction. No international outrage that usually follows high-profile airstrikes. Just a ghost story told through water pipes. But of course, the ethics weren't so clear. Drowning a target alongside others in the tunnel raised serious questions about proportionality, legality, and humane treatment under international law. Was it lawful combat, or extrajudicial execution? Did the use of flooding cross the line from military tactic into environmental warfare for Israel? The answer was in the results. A high-value target was eliminated with minimal risk to their own forces and zero collateral damage above ground. The operation became a case study in how intelligence, engineering, and patience could replace bombs and bullets. For Hamas, it was a strategic and symbolic defeat. What made this operation so unprecedented wasn't just the outcome. It was the method. Weaponizing water, a basic element of civilian life, turned public infrastructure into a tool of war. And not in the abstract sense. This wasn't a cyber attack on utilities or a blockade. It was literal, physical manipulation of pipes and pressure, coordinated with exact timing and surveillance, to kill someone underground. It's a chilling example of how the future of warfare may not involve giant explosions or drone swarms. It might look like routine construction work. A manhole cover left ajar. A slight pressure drop in the water system. And then suddenly flood. The whole thing also showed the power of multidisciplinary intelligence. This wasn't just spy work. It was engineering, hydrology, signal tracking, underground mapping. Teams of analysts and scientists came together to make water flow like a bullet. That's not something you see every day in counterterrorism. Even years later, the operation still echoes. Hamas continues to modify its tunnel systems. Reinforced doors, emergency exits, alternative routes. But the anxiety remains. The fear that the tunnels themselves might betray them. What Mossad demonstrated wasn't just a new tactic. It was psychological warfare. The ability to kill someone not with a strike from above, but a flood from below. To reach a target where they felt safest and drown them without warning. And maybe that's the scariest part. The idea that even the ground beneath you can't be trusted. That your strongest fortress might be your weakest point. That your enemy doesn't need to come to you, they can just open a valve. This wasn't a high-profile assassination on foreign soil. There were no passports forged, no silenced pistols, no dramatic chase scenes. It was quiet, technical, invisible. But brutally effective. A shift in how counter-terrorism can be done. Not with overwhelming force but with control of the environment itself. If you found this operation as wild, calculated, and unsettling as we did, let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think this kind of tactic crosses a line, or is it just modern warfare evolving? Hit that like button if you're into deep dive breakdowns of covert operations, and don't forget to subscribe for more behind the scenes chaos in the world of global power plays and shadow wars. Let us be clear, this was not your typical headline grabbing Mossad hit. There were no fiery explosions lighting up the Gaza skyline, no helicopters swooping in, no bodies dragged out in the open. This wasn't something cameras could capture. It didn't go viral on Twitter. It wasn't loud. But that's what made it even more terrifying. What Mossad pulled off was a silent kill, engineered with terrifying precision. They didn't just eliminate Mahmoud al-Zahar, they erased the idea that being underground could ever be safe again. Because think about the implications here. If you're a high-ranking Hamas operative using those tunnels, your personal bunker, your war room, your torture chamber, you're now suddenly aware that you could be drowned like a rat without a single soldier even crossing the border. No boots. No bullets. Just the cold, creeping rise of water through concrete corridors. And it wasn't just al-Zahar who died that day. Alongside him were Hamas security staff. Men trained to be alert, cautious, paranoid. And even they didn't see it coming. The Palestinian suspect being interrogated gone too. The entire underground facility, its secrets, its files, its weapons caches submerged in minutes. This was surgical in every sense of the word. And the fact that it was done using civilian water infrastructure, that's the part that makes intelligence agencies worldwide sit up straight. Because this wasn't a high-risk infiltration. It wasn't a drone with potential for misfire. It was math.